Hello and welcome back to Wolfeei. Today, I'm going to be revealing my top 10 wishes for MCC. More so, just talking about them because half of this I've already said on recording, stream, etc. for things I want to see happen in MCC. Whether it's Season 5 or whatever else is coming up. Probably just Season 5. If all of this happened in Season 5, I would lose my mind. It's not happening, by the way. And we're doing it in order from 10th to 1st. 10th being the one I want the least but still would like to see, and 1st being the thing I personally want to see the most from MCC. It's a wish for a reason. It's not an actual realistic expectation. Half of these things I think are definitely not happening. Half of these things could happen, but we'll get into it. So, first of all, number 10. Ender Cup 2. Off to a great start, Alex. Great start, man. Look, I understand there's a reason why Ender Cup probably won't happen again. I understand the reason why it did happen. Obviously, a grandiose special Minecraft collaborated event. It's essentially a sponsored Minecraft event. Obviously, you're not going to look at it like that, but essentially it is, right? It's a partnered, more so, Minecraft event, and they put a lot of effort into it, and probably too much effort to make it happen again unless it's another Minecraft sponsored event. However, it is something I would love to see Noxtrew more so, or just MCC as a more cohesive bubble of Noxtrew do again. I think it would be really cool. I don't expect it to happen, but it would be super sick if they did it again. I think the way it was approached was really cool. I think the roster that came alongside with it was really cool, and I would love to see it. Number 2. Yeah, I would love to see Ender Cup number 2. Moving along, something a lot more realistic. I want less to get to the other side. I think it got played like 5 times out of the 8 events. Actually, 5 out of the 7 because I didn't include Rising, I think, in my how often games I played video. I think I played at least the majority of events, and I don't know if it should. I understand it's probably one of the easier games to like frequently cycle content in and out of, but I feel like a lot of the players kind of feel the same towards to get to your side as a lot of the players used to feel towards build marts. Not in the sense of like this is awful, but in the sense of like, meh, I don't know, man. And as a viewer, I don't really love it. It is probably at this point my second to least favorite game in MCC. My least favorite being Parkour Warrior because of the MCC Island effect that has happened to it. But I think it only got played like twice, so that's fine. But to get your side 5 times, make that like 3, and I'll be happy. Because in turn, my number 8 wish is more build mart and more parkour tag. More parkour tag, because to get your side is a movement game, parkour tag is a movement game. Not swap the amount of times they're played, but parkour tag got played 1 time, I think. Once or twice. It was in rotation twice, but it was only played 1 time. And to get your side got played like 5 times. Make that 3 and 3, and I'm happy. That would be very cool. Build Mart, I just want to see in more. I think it'd be cool to have in a more regular rotation. Not like every event, of course, but I think it got played 2.5 times. Pride, Party, and also in Rivals EU, but that was an IRL thing, so that doesn't really count. It's more like a unique game at that point in Rivals EU. But Build Mart, play it more. I think it would be cool if it got played like 3 or 4 times. Maybe there is an event besides Pride and Anniversary where you could just throw Build Mart in there for once. I think a lot of the audience would like that. I think a lot of the Hermits, who I feel like are the more dominant part of the roster nowadays, would also enjoy that. And I think that's good. So that's wish number 8. Just something that they can already do with what they have to switch up the game roster a little bit more. Next up is variety, more so. I want to see more variety players in the special MCCs. They already did a good job, they being Scott, of course, already did a pretty good job having some more variety people included for some of the events. You have Rivals NA, which I think was a really good showing of some, variety people. I think, obviously, in Pride, you usually have a couple. Ender Cup obviously had a good amount as well. And I think that's just nice. I don't know. I just like it. The people I put on screen are just some examples. John, obviously, being John and Janet, I should say, both being people that have showed up a lot in MCC this past year. Then also Tina, who played once for Ender Cup, but did seem interested in playing more if it's, a bit more casual. And Foolish is someone I just kind of miss in MCC, man. I liked seeing Foolish in. I don't really watch Foolish, but in MCC, Foolish is great. He seems like a really fun guy in MCC, so I want to see more Foolish. So, yeah, there you go. I would love to see more variety in MCC. That's my number 7 wish. Number 6. You see a bunch of Hermits. This is another event similar to Season 4 KO that has a lot of Hermits at the same time, like a 10+ Hermits event. I think that's sick. I think that's really cool, and I would love to see that happen again. I'm going to assume that if it were to happen, it would most likely be Season 5 kickoff, but please, I would love to see a like 10+ Hermits roster. I think that's cool. That's what the modern day MCC audience most wants to see, and I think it's good. It's a good overall thing to have a lot of Hermits. I know it's easier said than done. I'm sure it's just going to rely on people actually signing up, but obviously we know that, for example, with Season 4 kickoff, Team Ties was just invited. I mean, I assume Impulse signed up, but Etho, Tango, and Skiz obviously were manually invited. So hopefully we can see something along those lines again to have some more Hermit rep again, because I think the Hermits are awesome, and I would love to see a lot of them at the same time. I think that makes for some interesting full roster and team dynamics, of course. So that's number 6 wish. Number 5 coming in. Speaking of Season 4 KO, just the lower-ish comp approach that this roster had. It's not even like that low comp, but it was like slightly lower comp than what we had seen before, and this just felt nice. I think if this was the standard going forward for like a normal MCC, or maybe even for like a slightly stronger-ish leading MCC, that would be fantastic. I think this is really nice. I think this type of approach to a roster and type of balancing to a roster is good, and I think also having, obviously, this is kind of a bonus thing for Season 4 KO, having newcomers. I like newcomers, sorry man, but I think having a nice handful of newcomers thrown in as well, especially if you can have a lot of the highly requested newcomers in at the same time, is so sick. I think that's fire, and I hope we see that again for Season 5 KO. I hope we do see some sort of newcomer batch or high Hermit rep batch or something along those lines for Season 5 KO. And just another event or two that are kind of like this, because I think this was a really nice start to Season 4 KO, and I was really hopeful to see events that were more akin to this. I think we got like 1 or 2, Ender Cup obviously being a bit lower comp, Twitch Rivals NA being a bit lower comp, and yeah, I would love to see more. I think these are really cool. Moving along, 4th wish is lifesteal rep at MCC. I'm kind of just talking about roster stuff in general right now, but a proper lifesteal rep, please, just one. Best candidates at this point, honestly, Forsey, Panky, Red, Clown, Zam, Parker. Those are probably the main ones I would say are like the best reps. Before anyone says, but Hannah's already in, but SB's already in. I want someone to be added to MCC who was in Lifesteal before they joined MCC, not someone who is in MCC and then joined Lifesteal, because that doesn't feel the same, all right? Seeing a proper Lifesteal member be added to the roster is what I want to see. I think that would be really cool, and I'm sure a lot of people would agree. Also, it opens up the door for some cool crossovers between the Lifesteal audience and like the Hermit audience, for example, because I think that's something people would really like to see. And MCC has a lot of Hermits, and they could easily invite, or at least, okay, they have a high amount of interest probably for some of the Lifesteal members to join, audience-wise, and I'm sure the Lifesteal members are open to it as well. As opposed to where Blockwars has a lot of the Lifestealers, but has a bit of a harder time getting the Hermits involved. So, please, a Lifesteal rep, just a manual one. Which partially leads me into the next point. A Dutch rep. Please, 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 just one. It doesn't have to be me. I'm on here because these are the 5 people I think make the most sense to be the Dutch rep, to join main MCC. I want a main MCC Dutch player in the roster. That is my number 3 wish. I think this is not in order of who's most likely. I just kind of did this in order of Pangy and Clown haven't played yet, but I think are the best candidates for this spot. And then Jeremy, myself, and May have played before, in which I think we would all make for good candidates too, but I do think Pangy and Clown make the most sense, and I would love to see either of them make an appearance in MCC. I think at this point, Pangy is the most likely. I do think, ultimately speaking, Clown would probably be the most hyped up out of any of these people to see in MCC. Obviously, he is extremely iconic as just a character in like parkour, Civ, and also just as a YouTuber and nowadays streamer as well in general, and as a PvPer. I think it'd be really cool. I don't think he would be a balancing concern either. Same with Pangy. I think they would both be pretty good, but not like top... maybe top frag, depending on what the balancing is looking like. I think this would be so sick to have a Dutch rep, because I think there's a lot of Dutch people in the MCC audience, and we want one rep, please, just one main MCC rep. You could literally get your lifesteal rep and your Dutch rep at the same time, either Pangy or Clown. I would be so happy to see either of them be a permanent roster addition to MCC. I think that would be so sick. So please. Moving on though to the top 2 wishes. Number 2 is a new game. This one is maybe a little bit much to ask for, because Railroad Rush is obviously a pretty recent addition to the MCC game roster. But I do really want to see MCC make another new game. I think MCC's roster of games is very good. It's the best. Out of any event, it is the best. However, even if something is really good, if it's the same for a while, the quality, or at least the perception of how good a game is, does decrease. And I think one thing that MCC currently not struggles with, but something that was becoming more and more obvious at the end of Season 4, is that the games can't really hold up for themselves in terms of making MCC feel super special anymore. If you don't have a proper gimmick that sticks, the games kind of fall behind in terms of that Season 4 special feeling. And that's why I think a new game could be really good. I think Railroad feels really fresh. I think Ace Race has been feeling really fresh recently. I think some of the games that obviously don't get put in very often still feel pretty nice. But there are certain games that get played too much, I think, like Meltdown, to get their side. That kind of, as much as they are... Well, Meltdown at least is a good game, obviously at its core. The quality, or at least the perception of how good this game is decreases because it's played too much, and I want a new game. I just want a new game. I want a new game in MCC. Late Season 5 would be probably the best chance of it actually happening, but yeah, please. I would be so happy to see a new game in MCC. I know it's probably unrealistic, but I would love to see it. And then finally, my number 1 wish for MCC. If you've watched the streams, if you've watched the YouTube, you'll understand why this is my number 1 wish. MCC Rookies, please, it would be so sick. Take the Block Wars idea. I don't care. All right, just take it. Take it, please. I would love to see what an MCC Rookies could look like. I think Scott could cook up a lot with MCC Rookies. He has the industry connects to get some really cool people involved. You could bring some people back. Keep in mind, Rookies is not only newcomers. Rookies' main appeal is significant lower comp. The typical structure is a leader on a team, a captain more so, and then 3 weaker players. Twitch Rivals NA had a couple of those. Twitch Rivals NA had some teams that I would say could have been in a rookie-style event. The Lime team with Feinberg and the Hermits. The Pink team with Shane and the rest of his team. There's probably another one that I'm forgetting about. But Rivals NA was something that was close. Underdogs was something that was close. And I would love to see MCC tackle Rookies as a concept. Super simple, all right? You're going to have to make sure that your gameplay is lower comp friendly, and Scott goes ham on invites. It doesn't matter who signed up, alright? You just make whatever roster you think is the coolest and is lower comp, etc. Invite newcomers. There's no limit. They don't have to be permanent roster additions. They can just be exclusive to this Rookies event. Or you can keep them around if they want to play for longer. It's so good, and I would love to see MCC do it. Please. Also, one thing that is interesting is I have talked about MCC Rookies specifically before. I'm going to give you a little bit of a disclaimer, not disclaimer, a warning. There's going to be canceled players on the screen in 3, 2, 1. I did this about a year and a half ago, and clearly I'm going to have to make a MCC Rookies updated version because this one hasn't aged the best, you could say. And I think there's a lot more people that could be involved in a cool MCC Rookies type of event. So, let me know your thoughts on my top 10 wishes for MCC. Do you think it is a good idea for an MCC Rookies, a new MCC game, a Dutch rep in MCC, a main MCC that is, a Dutch rep in main MCC, a lifesteal rep in main MCC, an event again similar or balancing in Season 5 similar to Season 4 kickoff? Another MCC that has 10 plus hermits in it. More variety streamers to make an appearance in the special MCCs. Regular MCCs would be cool too, but it's more realistic to expect the variety people to be in the special ones. More Build Mart and Parkour Tag in regular rotation. Less Ticketer Aside in regular rotation. And Ender Cup 2. What do you want the most out of what I said, and what are your wishes for MCC? What do you want to see the most from Season 5 and maybe even beyond? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.